had a world of my own, everything would be nonsense. Nothing would be what it is, because everything would be what it isn't. And contrary-wise, what it is, it wouldn't be. And what it wouldn't be, it would. You see?
Welcome to Wonderland. Come in, have no fear.
Welcome to Wonderland, where self-discovery takes a curious and whimsical turn. This is Wonderland Unlocked, a journey into the heart of Wonderland itself, exploring the emotions, struggles, and personal growth that shape who we are. I'm Courtney, a peer support specialist with my own winding path through identity, emotions, and transformation. Inspired by my experiences and the lessons I've learned, I created this series to explore how the characters of Wonderland connect to our real-life challenges. In each episode, we'll shine a light on a different Wonderland character, uncovering what their story teaches us about ourselves. From Alice's search for identity to the Mad Hatter's chaos, the Cheshire Cat's wisdom to the Queen of Hearts' fury, we'll explore what their journeys reveal about our own. So take a step down the rabbit hole, embrace the unexpected, and let's unlock Wonderland within.
Alice, sweetheart, it's time for tea. Alice? Alice?
Today, we focus on a character often overshadowed, the King of Hearts.
Her Imperial Highness, Her Grace, Her Excellency, Her Royal Majesty, the Queen of Hearts, and the King.
While the Queen of Hearts dominates the scene with her fiery temper and need for control, the King seems almost invisible in comparison. But what if his quiet nature holds a lesson just as powerful? The King represents the delicate balance between control and vulnerability. He appears composed and agreeable, yet there's an unspoken tension. Has he mastered emotional balance, or has he simply shut down to avoid conflict? Is he truly at peace, or is he just playing a role to survive in the Queen's chaotic world? And here's a real question. How do we navigate this balance in our own lives? Many of us struggle with the tension between structure and emotional openness. We crave stability, but we also long for connection. We want to feel in control, yet we yearn to be seen, heard, and understood. This episode is all about finding that balance, learning to embrace control in a healthy way while allowing space for vulnerability without fear of losing ourselves in the process. So let's step into the King's world and explore this together. Let's start by painting a picture of the King of Hearts. In Alice in Wonderland, the Queen of Hearts is the one giving dramatic orders, demanding heads to roll, and asserting her dominance over Wonderland. Meanwhile, the King hovers in the background, offering pardons after her ruthless declarations, smoothing things over and keeping things running without making too much noise. In some ways, he embodies calm and diplomacy. But is this balance? Or is this avoidance? His role raises a fascinating question. When faced with chaos, is it better to assert control or to withdraw and maintain the peace?
Lucy, my dear, it certainly isn't a hard.
Oh, dear Queen.
Consider, my dear, couldn't she have a trial? Well, just a little trial. Oh.
And this isn't just about fairy tale kingdoms. In real life, we play out similar roles in our relationships, workplaces, and even within ourselves. Think about it. Have you ever held your tongue to avoid conflict, even when you had something important to say? Have you ever bottled up emotions because expressing them felt like losing control? Have you ever prioritized keeping the peace over speaking your truth? If so, then you might find a piece of yourself in the King of Hearts. And today we're diving deep into what that means. Before we talk about balance, let's first understand why control is such a powerful force in our lives. Why do we crave control? When life feels uncertain, we instinctively try to control something, whether it's our environment, our routines, or even other people's reactions. For example, we overschedule our days so we don't have to sit with uncomfortable emotions. We plan every detail of a trip so nothing unexpected can go wrong. We micromanage conversations to avoid rejection or embarrassment. It's not a bad thing. Control makes the world feel predictable. But too much of it, that's when rigidity sits in. Let's be honest. Being vulnerable is terrifying. If we open up, we risk being judged. If we let our guard down, we risk being hurt. If we express our emotions, we risk being misunderstood. So we build walls. We suppress. We become the King of Hearts. Calm, collected, agreeable, but distant. Many of us develop a need for control because we've lived through times we've had none. Maybe you grew up in a chaotic household where the rules change daily. Maybe you've experienced trauma where control was taken from you. Or maybe you've had relationships where emotional instability made you feel unsafe. In response, you learned to hold on tightly to routines, rules, and emotional detachment because letting go felt dangerous. Drop a comment if you've ever found yourself clinging to control in stressful moments. Now, let's talk about the cost of holding on too tightly. If we always prioritize control, we end up shutting down our emotions. We tell ourselves, I don't have time to feel this. We say, it's not a big deal. Or we think, if I stay strong, this will pass. But emotions don't disappear. They build up, they fester, and eventually they explode. When we suppress emotions, we become difficult to connect with. People may say we're distant or hard to read. We might struggle with deep relationships because opening up feels like a risk. Or others may mistake our calmness for indifference, even when we deeply care. Trying to manage everything, our emotions, other people's perceptions, every little detail, it's exhausting. The more we try to hold everything together, the more anxious we become. Imagine carrying a house of cards, afraid to even let one piece fall. Eventually, you exhaust yourself trying to keep it all upright. Have you ever felt like controlling everything was more stressful than just letting go? Share your experience in the comments. So what's the solution? How do we let go without losing ourselves? Vulnerability doesn't mean spilling your soul into everyone. It means allowing small moments of openness, saying, I don't know, instead of pretending. Admitting when you're frustrated instead of bottling it up. Or letting yourself feel sad instead of pushing through. Not everyone deserves access to your vulnerability, but some people do. Finding safe, trustworthy people makes all the difference. Control isn't about rigidity, it's about resilience. True balance means knowing when to hold on and when to let go. What's one way you've learned to balance control with vulnerability? Let's share ideas. Control gives us structure. Vulnerability gives us connection. The King of Hearts shows us what happens when we suppress one side for too long, but we don't have to live that way. Here's a challenge for you. Find one small way to embrace vulnerability this week. Let someone in. Loosen your grip just a little. See what happens. And remember, you're not alone on this journey. Until next time, stay curious, stay open, and keep unlocking the wonders within. Yay me, yay you, and yay us.